Well, welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager then, the single seater playthrough. And we got 5 races left of this season. If I get one more 7th place, I'm gonna go spare. I really am. But we're still holding on to that 3rd place, thanks to the incredible start to the season we had. And in 5 races, if we can get a couple more point scoring positions, we should be okay for 6th. That gap is currently 8th place back to Ruiz Motorsport, so we'll see how we get on. Of course, we want to keep pushing the car forward if we can. We've got a bit of a budget problem at the moment, though, so we need to try and sort that as soon as possible. So let's get on with today's episode and just remind ourselves what we're doing with the car. I think we need to try and sort out the money problem as soon as possible. So Dreyfus, we've agreed, is going at the end of the year. So we need to start really looking for another driver. And of course, we want someone that's going to bring sponsorship. And at this stage, I'm not really worried too much about a paid driver. If we can go up to level 4 with the sponsors, then hopefully we can make progress in the money department. I still can't quite work out why we're losing so much money. We just don't. It might be sponsors. We're paying the drivers a bit more this year. Next year's car, I think, is, now that we've gone up a division, it's now taking more to build next year's car than it did last year. So that might be another reason. But at the moment, we just can't put any new parts on, which is a bit of a shame. So we're just going to have to try and improve where we can. And just keep the parts increasing that we've already got on the car. So we've got quite a few performance tweaks coming. We need to continue increasing the reliability of the engine, because that's where we can get that performance boost with the weight stripping. So we'll keep that on for the moment. Reliability elsewhere looks okay. I'd like to boost the suspension a little bit if we can, but for the moment we'll just try and get the maximum performance we can out of the parts we've got. Just wondering if we switch. No, gearbox is pretty important. I really want to get these. There's a big gap to find in these brakes, but we'll continue as we are for a little bit and see what we can do. I'm just going to have a look at sponsors. Have we got anybody coming up? We've got 2 in a race time, so hopefully that will give us a little boost of money, and that will make us okay to put another part or 2 on the car. But we're struggling, but we thought we'd struggle. You know, we're 3rd in the championship. In a championship we've only been, this is our 1st season in it, so we've got to be happy with what we've got, and it's all about building from here, really. It would be, to be honest, it'd be pretty much a disaster if we went straight up somehow, which we're not going to do anyway. But we've got to prepare for the top division, so it's going to be a few seasons slog to get there. Hopefully, I'm going to keep these episodes coming a bit quicker. Now that I'm getting F1 2017 stuff under control. So, who are we going to be looking at for drivers then? I think we just scout a few people. Don't want to go too... To be honest, I'm not too bothered about how old they are. If they're bringing sponsorship to the team, then that's all you can really ask. If they're a decent driver and they bring money, at this point, that's all I'm worried about. We only need to scout the best of the best, really, when we're in the top division. So we'll just add a few random drivers onto the list, and we'll see what they come back with. We've got 5 races to learn about that. So let's take another look at the parts then. Engine's now up to 90%, so that's a nice boost. An extra 5% boost we're going to be able to do with the weight stripping. This front wing is now up to 86%, so I'm going to switch over to one of the suspension parts. That's gone back to 2010. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps resetting itself when you've still got things being researched in both departments, but hey ho, that's a quirk of the game. Quirk of the game. Right. We should be nearly ready then for the next race. This season's flown by, but we need to pick it up a bit, because it's going to be a while. There's going to be a lot of seasons to get through before we can get promoted. So, as I say, I'm going to try and keep these coming as quickly as possible now. 9 giant tyres per race the way in 2020. I really don't care about that. I never use all the tyre compounds anyway, to be fair. Right, we'll go for 10th or above. Just to get that money in the bank, really. And as long as we achieve that, we should get that money. I don't think we'll get there in qualifying, which means we'll only get 200,000 as a profit. But we didn't lose any. We lost money, I think, last race out, which was bizarre. Right, we can probably put these brakes on now. And they should be an upgrade. We'll stick them on Dreyfus's car. And we'll be using the same parts as last time then. So I'm going to get practice done, and I shall be back with you shortly for qualifying. Okay, we're into qualifying then. Practice went pretty well. 97 on Eka, 96 on Dreyfus. It's the same old story of practice, really. Very rarely, should I say, do we get that wrong. So again, sort of 14th, 15th, 16th, I'd be happy with. We know our car isn't the quickest. It's the race that we're going to do any damage if we can somehow muster some points this race. They would be much needed, because I can't even remember. It's been a lot of races since we've scored a point, and any point is crucial this season. But we'll see what our two gals can do. They normally go a lot quicker on their second lap, so we'll see what their opening bout is, and we'll go from there. I forgot to do the weight stripping, unfortunately, so I shall do that before the race, and hopefully that will give us a boost there. It would have been interesting to have done it for qualifying, now that we can take that extra off, that extra 5%, and just seeing what kind of difference it made to our qualifying position. It's not gonna, it's not gonna make a huge amount of difference, but hopefully it will be enough to maybe get into the points if we're lucky. Anyway, Eka has crossed the line with a 22.7 first time out. Dreyfus a 10th behind with a 22.8. It does really seem to have switched around. Eka always had more potential anyway, and Dreyfus has been at her best for a couple of seasons now. So it looks like Eka is slowly starting to pull ahead, at least in raw pace. So I think the team is in good hands with her as at least our #1 or equal driver next year. And then, of course, we've got to find someone else to partner her. But, Dreyfus has been with the team for a long old time, and I'm hoping she can have some good results towards the end of the season that we can celebrate as she goes on her way. Be interesting if she gets a job in this division again, to go up against her. But we're right at the back at the moment. It wasn't the best opening laps. We really do seem to have dropped to the back in terms of pace. Let's just give it another minute. Last time out, I did forget to send the two cars out again, so we'll do it a little bit early this time. We'll put on a fresh set of Super Softs, and they can go again. And it's only really been a couple of races since we stopped developing parts, but it seems to have made a big difference. We'll see if one of our two drivers can pull out a lap here, but we do really seem to have dropped down to the back of the pack in terms of raw pace. Our race pace seems to be better, though, and I think that's mostly because of our two drivers, but we'll see what they can do anyway. If they can make a small improvement, it will be most welcome. But yeah, it's where we expect to be at the beginning of the year, let's be honest, but it's been such a great season so far that it's kind of flatters us a bit. But Dreyfus coming up to the line now. She improves to a 23.2. No, she misses her best time by half a second. Eka improves to a 22.4. So, big improvement from Eka. It's only good enough to lift her up to 18th place. But at least we're not last. So, we can take that as consolation, I guess. A long way off our sponsor objective, but really, that's all about the race. We're never going to hit the sponsor objective. We haven't once this season, I don't think, in qualifying. So, that's a chunk of money we're missing out of, but there's not much we can do about that. You never really get offered a lowest sponsor lower than sort of 14th, I don't think. So, hopefully we can get that 10th place in the race, and we'll get that 200k. It's all about trying to get those points. Right, before I remember, weight stripping. So how low dare we go? So we could go an extra to 78. Yeah, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go to 78. I reckon we can still do a good race on that. We'll take a little bit off that front wing. Take it down to 80. And that's about it. 60 performance gained on Dreyfus's car, 45 on Ekka's. You know, it's not the biggest difference in the world. Should I take the gearbox down as well? Let's go for it. Let's get the maximum performance we can out of these cars. We've got to go for points at the end of the day. We'll go for Engine Expert on Dreyfus's car to combat that drop. And then we'll go on Race Trim so that we get the benefit on both the super soft and the soft tyres. Righty-ho. Don't think there's any rain forecast. So I think we'll split the strategies. We'll go super soft with Ekka. She should be our quicker driver. And they are going to last around about 10 to 12 laps. So we shall go down to, let's go 13 laps just in case. And then for Dreyfus, we're going to start her on the soft tyres, see how far she can go on those. And we'll put about 17 laps of fuel in. Okie doke. And we'll get them to push from the beginning, see if they can make up some positions early on. And then, of course, as per usual, we'll turn the cars back down. Right, if it's a normal race, it's going to take a lot for us to get in the points today, but we'll give it a good shot as always. Hopefully we can do something on strategy. Hopefully there's a few incidents that mean that we can get a bit higher up that we can. Two drivers still at the back of the field then. Ekka has dropped a couple of positions. Problem there for D'Asti. I think he had a lock-up or something. And that's allowed our cars past, and we've made great progress into the next couple of corners then. Dreyfus already up to 14th, and Ekka up to 16th. Dreyfus up to 13th now, moving through the field okay, and considering she's on the soft tyres as well, that's a great start. And already a promising sign that we can maybe fight a bit higher than our qualifying position at the moment then. So Ekka's now got through those last few cars, and she's now on the back of her teammate. Hopefully she can get past Dreyfus without too much trouble, because she should be a lot quicker at this stage of the race on those super softs. Never want to do team orders, but Dreyfus has just backed Ekka back into Vidal there. But Dreyfus has made another move and up to 13th. So good progress so far. We're going to go back down to medium and neutral just to look after the cars and the tyres at this point. It's very hot out there, so we're not going to have any trouble with tyre warm-up. We might even just have to watch those temperatures and maybe conserve from time to time. So it should be a two-stop strategy. There's a possibility of a one-stop for Dreyfus doing 2 stints on the soft tyres. Whether we're going to be able to get the tyres to hold on that long, and if we do, how much pace will we lose. But we'll see how they hold up. See if she can get to around lap 14, 15. I was going to say they'll wear a little bit less on low fuel, but let's remember that we got to refuel, so we won't be getting that particular trick today. So Ekka has made her way past her teammate. She's now up to 13th, and it's a fairly good start. Tyres are now starting to overheat, so we're going to go back to conserve just to try and keep those temperatures in check. Which nobody else is doing, so it could give us that extra couple of laps that can always help with strategy. I think Ekka, I'm going to be looking at maybe doing an undercut. She's definitely nailed onto a two-stop, and then Dreyfus, we'll see how far those softs go, but it's not looking good at the moment for a one-stop, and if it is, she'll be very quick at the end of the race, very slow at the end of the race. But we'll see what we can do. So the top 5 breaking away, and top 4 even, from 5th to 12th, are all sort of within 10 seconds of each other. So we've still got a sniff at points, but those top 4 are probably going to be completely out of the question. So Ekka trying to get past Zaranti. Zaranti, of course, on the soft tyres. We should have the advantage, but not for too long. And if we're doing a two-stop, we could probably pit a little bit earlier and maybe go onto the soft tyres with Ekka. That could be a plan. And I think we're going to go one more lap. We'll go one more lap, and then we'll pit the lap after that. You don't want to go too aggressive on the undercut, because as soon as the guys come out of the pits, they'll just go breeze straight past you if the tyres are too much fresher. A couple of cars pitting now then, so we've sort of lost that element of surprise with the undercut. We'll go on to the softs. We'll put enough fuel to do 15 laps. I don't think we need to do any more than that, to be fair. Just check, no rain on the way. Car looking okay. So hopefully the pit stops goes to plan. Get ready, boys. She's coming in. Definitely don't want a mistake here. Anybody else going to pit on this lap? Yep, one car in. Couple more in. So, yeah, we kind of lost the undercut there, but we should get a couple of laps on some of the people. Pit stop's pretty good, so she's back out at the back of the field. Hopefully she can get a couple of good laps in now while we wait for everybody else to pit. A lot of soft tyre runners out there, so hopefully she can be quicker than those guys. So we're going to push for about a lap, and then I think we need to turn at least the tyres down. We will go back to neutral because they are overheating really badly today. Dreyfus can probably go a couple laps. I think we'll push her as far as she'll go. I definitely don't think a one-stop is there. But if we're going to do a two-stop and we want to do around about 8 to 10 laps on the super softs, then yeah, we can probably get away with pitting now. So we'll bring Dreyfus in this lap for super softs. We'll put 11 laps. Ooh, no, I'm going to go another lap. 20 laps left. It pushes it. We need every lap we can get because those super softs are going to run out pretty quickly, especially if she's fighting hard for position. So there's a few soft tyre runners we need to wait to pit. Ekera's ahead of John Stottier, but John Stottier's clearly had a problem somewhere. So we'll bring Dreyfus in this lap. So not really undercutting, and the pace not looking brilliant, to be fair, at the moment. Need our guys to pick it up a little bit. Really struggling with this tyre wear. We're going to go back to conserve again. And we'll go to medium just to save that engine a little bit, as we've lost that extra little bit of reliability. So Dreyfus in this time around. Presuming she'll probably come out the back of the field. Oh no, she's going to get out ahead of a couple of cars, and she's going to make a brave move into turn 1. Can't quite get ahead of Diostra, but hopefully she can chase them down. We're going to go conserve straight from the beginning and try and keep these tyres in their working range. We're really struggling. What's everybody else doing? Yeah, so some people are backing up. I think I'll do the same with Eka. Just got to get those tyres under control again. Might use some fuel just to negate that. I think the engine and gearbox should be able to take it, hopefully. It's not looking brilliant. To be fair, this is looking like the kind of race we would expect with our car. It's going to take a brave strategy call or some adverse weather to really get ourselves in the mix for points. And we always said, after we had those cracking results, first and second race, that we were going to have to hold on. It was unlikely for us to score points for the rest of the season. So anything we get is a bonus. If one of our guys can get into the top 10 just to get that sponsor objective, that will be useful. We've got to at least have one weekend where we're in the positive. Because we really need some new parts on the car. Although 200,000 profit is not going to enable us to get a new part, but we'll see what we can do. Right, so Dreyfus, we can probably go to neutral. She's keeping those tyres nicely in the working range. She's not really going forward like she needs to on these super softs though. And that's a bit worrying. Ekera's got those tyres nicely back into the working range. So we'll probably go to neutral and just keep an eye on it. So 13 laps to go. She needs to go another sort of 3 or 4 laps. We'll back off on the fuel again now we've gone back up to medium. And she's making progress. She's up to 13th. She can see up to 11th. 10th is a long way down the road. So if she can get past these couple of cars, then we'll see what her real pace is like. She's currently lapping a couple of seconds quicker than the cars ahead, but doesn't seem to be able to do anything with that speed at the moment. And Dreyfus is lapping even quicker than this, so I'd expect this group to just sort of concertina her up during this stint, and it's going to be a real scrap. But unfortunately, Leclerc is a long way ahead in 10th. But there might be a retirement, you never know. Fickle beasts are these machines. Another car in the pit now, Moreno. That's an early stop, but I think he or she's done 2 stints on the super soft, so that'll be softs till the end of the race. So we want to go another 2 or 3 laps at minimum. We'll see how long these tyres hold on. Eka is battling away. Can she get past? It's 3 wide into that left-hander there, and she's away into 12th place. Let's give her a little bit more fuel and see if she can get after 11th. So we've now got 10 laps to go, 9 after this one. So I think we want to go one more lap with both cars. They're both going to be going on to super softs on the final stint. So I think we'll pit Dreyfus first, probably on this lap. Hopefully she can get the distance out of those super softs if we don't push too hard and keep the tyre temps under control. Engine and gearbox looking okay, so we'll put a little bit of extra fuel in, and then we can push with the engine till the end of the race. So in she comes. We will go conserve when she comes out again, just to keep those temperatures under control for the first couple of laps, and we'll keep it on high engine mode until the end. Eka we will bring in this lap then also for super softs. She's getting a little bit more range out of her tyres, so she should be definitely okay. That engine is a bit worrying though, so we'll go back to medium. And I was thinking about taking that extra lap of fuel out if she can't push, but it might be useful at some point. So where's she going to come out in terms of Dreyfus? She's going to get back out ahead of that group. Oh, just back out in 13th place. And she's just been overtaken by by Batista. So hopefully she can get... Whoa, okay, we got some crazy racing here. We're going to need to see you fight, girl, if we're going to want to get to the head of this group and have a chance of getting that 10th place. She's going backwards a little bit at the moment, though. We're going to go back to conserve and high and hope that engine holds on. Just keep those tyre temps down. And then hopefully we'll have the tyres to attack at the end of the race. The leader's coming through now as well, which is a hindrance and an opportunity. When you're in a group of cars, it can be an opportunity. When you're on your own, it's a hindrance, because the AI cars just love to jump out of the way completely. We've got a couple of cars that haven't pitted. I think they're going to be out of range from us, though, so I think this is the race to the finish now with these guys. Dreyfus has got onto the back of this pack now, where Dreyfus lapped a lot quicker than Eka last time round. So she seems to have a bit more pace in the car if she can use it. Just checking. I don't want that. Thank you, game. Yeah, everything should hold for us to continue to push till the end of the race. Let's go back to normal on both cars. Now we've got the tyre temps under control. Dreyfus can probably push for a little bit, because she's actually sort of cooled her tyres a bit too much. And she's got quite a lot of excess fuel, and her engine and gearbox are good. So we're going to go overtake for a couple of laps and just see if she can get herself back into this fight. I think at this stage of the race, she's got better pace than Eka. Eka doesn't seem to be able to make too much progress. I don't want to go on... we can probably go on overtake with that engine, to be fair. Right, tyres are now starting to overheat again, so we'll go back to normal. Oh, engine's gone straight down to 21. Oh dear. It's not a good race for Eka. That's amazing. We went to overtake mode and it just dropped 10% instantly. She is now up to 15th. That 10th place is long gone though. And if we can get to the head of this field, I'll be pretty happy with that. At least get a couple more positions each. We are on the final lap though, so it looks unlikely. Well, we got a lap and a half to go. Eka gets up to 14th there as she passes Tyler. I think that was actually repassing Tyler. Dreyfus on the back of this group, but doesn't seem to be able to do much. We'll go back to high just to make sure she gets around with that fuel. But this is going to be a pretty disappointing race. Yep, so we're going to come around the final corner. Eka is going to at least beat her teammate home and come across the line in 14th. Dreyfus across the line in 18th, really struggling on pace this race. It's that first stint, I think, that really hurt her for some reason. Maybe pitting a bit too late, but she was a long way at the back of the field. Whether I missed a pit stop mistake, that's possible. Yeah, she pitted quite a bit later. It was starting on those soft tyres that lost her the time. Maybe wasn't the way to go on strategy, but to be fair, both drivers were pretty close to each other. 14th and 18th is where our cars are, let's be honest. No major problems from the cars. They both drove well. A penalty promotes Eka to 13th. I don't think it will change the standings too much. Eka stays 4th, Dreyfus stays 8th, and we drop to 4th, 1 point behind Boa Esperança. So that 6th place is still only 8 points behind. Ruiz did not score any points. I don't think Kirov did either. So we're still in this fight, and as I've been saying all along, a couple of points at some point towards the end of the season could be all we need to secure that 6th. If there's a crazy race, then the cars behind could score some points, but as could we. If it remains as it is till the end of the season, then we may already have enough points to finish in that 6th place. But we'll keep pushing. Some nice big improvements for Eka still. She's really got the potential to be one of the best drivers in this division, I think. And Dreyfus needs to... well, she's on her way, isn't she, next season? Some nice improvements from Monroe. Whether he's going to be ready for next season, I don't know. To be honest, I had forgot. We keep putting him in for practices, but I forgot we'd hired him. Whether he's going to improve enough. If he can get to Dreyfus's level by the end of the season, it's unlikely, let's be honest. But we'll see at the end of the season if he's going to be ready. The whole fruits of our labour for the entire weekend are £1,000. I don't think the bank would be... That just about covers the interest on the debt, I think. The bank would not be happy with that. But, hey, we keep pushing forward. We'll try and get performance where we can. There might be tracks that suit our car better than others. Let's not forget that. We've still got the 9th quickest car. So we're definitely still in the fight with that midfield. And we'll keep trying every race to get those precious points. But as always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it's still exciting, even where our car is. You know, this is what it's been all about. We'd finally got promoted to the Asia Pacific Super Cup. And it was going to be tricky, wasn't it? So we'll keep pushing forward, and hopefully the glory days will be just right around the corner. Keep your comments and advice coming. From what you guys see from the projection of Monroe, do we think he's going to be ready for next year? Do you think we give him a chance anyway? Just so that we get that marketability, which will go down to 85, which is still really good. That should be enough to get us 4-star sponsors. And the other thing is he's cheap, dirt cheap. So he would, you know, make a big difference to put in ahead of Dreyfus in the money front. Whether he's going to be ready as a driver immediately next season, we'll have to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you're still enjoying Motorsport Manager, and I hope some of you that do watch this are also enjoying the F1 2017 content. It's quite a strong time between those two, so it's nice that the channel for the moment has a bit of unity. I do want to continue other games that aren't motorsport related, but at the moment we're firmly on the Motorsport Manager and F1 2017 train. If you haven't already though, do go and check out the Force India career mode. I'm really enjoying that this year, and I'm really enjoying the game. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. If you're new to the channel, don't forget that subscribe button as well. It means the world. We finally started making some moves with the subscriber count. After months of sort of hovering around between 200 and 200, about 15. We're now almost at 260, so it means a lot. I do this as a hobby, of course. It doesn't matter to me, the big numbers. Obviously, it's a nice sort of validation of what you're doing, but I'm never chasing that completely. I just really enjoy it and enjoy the interaction with you guys. So I hope you're enjoying it. So anyway, for today, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.